You look around, the birds, the bees, the cats, the dogs frolicking in the wind. It's a wonderful place to be. The world, that is, of course. Man killed by FBI agent in Houston raid was kidnapped victim being held for ransom. Wonderful world we live in, huh? Alright, so, let's go over this. I don't know if anyone knows about this. I mean, obviously, you might have heard something, whatever. But a few days ago, here in my neck of the woods, on January 26th, which is when this article was uploaded, basically what happened was FBI agents shot this hostage, obviously, that was being held by these two cartel members. So, these cartel members, they didn't break in, they barged into this guy's house, from my understanding from reading this article. The guy that was shot and killed and his son were home, and these two cartel members were demanding money that neither of them knew anything about. And they obviously weren't having that, they're the cartel. And they took the man hostage. And they took him to a different location, and it says here, okay, it doesn't really say the location, it just says it's a different location. They were ransacking the house, they're trashing everything, whatever. The son called the police, obviously, like a normal child would, a smart child at least. And they tracked down where the cartel members and the man had went, which they were actually... Okay, it says here, the man's brother reportedly told police he received a call later that day from a man who said that he was with the cartel and wanted $20,000 in ransom money or his brother would be killed. Alright, so, there's that. They traced the phone call to a motel near Houston. So that's where... Right, sorry, this is very poorly prepared. But whatever, that's where the guy was shot and killed at, the poor guy. Alright. So, this was at around 4 in the morning. On Thursday of last week, yes, the week before, yes, because this is on Friday when I'm recording this, so it was not just this last Thursday, but the Thursday before that. Anyways, so, they're doing their typical FBI raid. They break down the door, whatever. They shoot the guy, but what baffles me is the fact that he was bound. The hostage was bound. He was tied up, alright? And that... I don't understand. And now granted, I'm not a SWAT officer. I've never been in a situation where, I'm trying to rescue a hostage. So I suppose I don't really have that much room to talk. But how do you just... The guy is tied up, alright? And I've read in multiple articles that he was tied up. That he was bound, So, at this point, I'm just like, what? How? How do you screw up that bad and shoot the one guy that's tied up and not the other two? Because the other two, the cartel members, they weren't shot. They were arrested. Only the guy who's kidnapped and tied up was shot, right? Now, on to the second article. This is where things get a little bit interesting. Bound hostage killed by FBI in botched raid, grabbed agent's rifle, sheriff says. What? Now wait a minute. Okay, so, you're telling me the bound hostage grabbed the agent's rifle. Okay. So, how exactly was he bound? That's what I'm a little bit confused about. Because if he was bound, like this article says, does that mean that he got loose? Because in that case he wouldn't be bound. Or did they only tie his legs together? Or his hands together and then he just kinda jumped for the agent's rifle? I mean... I don't man, I don't really understand how he can be bound yet also grab the agent's rifle. Oh man, man. Alright, so SWAT team, including FBI agents, was sent to the residence in Conroe, Texas, 40 miles north of Houston. Whatever. So, you know, this article's going through what I had just read. And, okay, Valderez, here we go, right here. So, 2 agents were at the back of the house where they believed the victim was being held. The agents were using a tool to break the window while other agents entered the front of the house. Acevedo, I think that's how you say that, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the sheriff. Oh, he is the Houston police chief. Alright, yes, my bad. Where was I? He said one of the agents accidentally dropped the breaching tool inside the house and began using his M4 rifle to break the window. Valderez, who was the man who got killed, was next to the window, had his hands bound by duct tape in front of him. Then he grabbed the rifle and started pulling the weapon inside the home. Okay, now that makes sense. But still. Now, since he was pulling the rifle in, I'm assuming that they shot him from outside the window, which I can see. I can see how that could have happened. But it doesn't say here that it's not specific, because it says when the agent feared that he may lose control of the rifle, he fired 2 shots. This is... If the agent was breaking the window with his rifle, he would be using the butt of the rifle, correct? Or am I just stupid? I mean, if I'm trying to break a window with a rifle, I would use the butt. I wouldn't use the barrel. So, if Valderez grabbed the rifle by the butt, how did the agent fire 2 shots into him from outside? This just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This whole situation is so messed up, and I'm not in any way blaming the agents, because in that situation I would probably have done the same thing, you know? But then again, I don't know. This whole situation is just so messed up. There's so many like bad decisions being made. It's insane. On everyone's part, in all honesty. But at first, everyone was under the impression that, because me and my friends, we all discussed this a lot, you know, and we were all under the impression, because there was tons of articles out about this, saying that he was bound, like, to where he couldn't move, and they just shot him. And obviously, that just sounds completely awful on the FBI's part, you know, on the SWAT agent's part. Which that's wrong, you know. This article that says that he grabbed the agent's rifle, that was uploaded on January 30th, by the way. I probably should have said that earlier. I'm not very good at this, you can tell. But this, like I said before, this whole situation is very, very just messed up. And there's no right way. I'm not really sure what to say here. But yeah, basically, according to this, he grabbed the agent's rifle, and said agent shot him. By the way, Valderez, the hostage, he was not killed on the scene. He died later at the hospital, if that's relevant information at all. But the investigators say they do not know why Valderez pulled on the gun. He could have been trying to get out of the house. It is a tragedy that we can't take back, said the chief of police. But whatever. To me, this is relevant because I live fairly close to this. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get freaking kidnapped by the cartel and get shot or something. You know. But yeah, that's this situation. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but yep. I'm gonna actually try to make videos now. I'm not very good at it. I don't know what I'm doing, as you can clearly tell. This wasn't scripted because I'm too lazy to write a script, which is probably going to be how most of my videos are. I don't know if this is going to do well at all. It's probably going to do awful, but if you've made it this far, I think you deserve a round of applause because I don't know how you do it. I'm just, an awful speaker. But anyways, that's beside the point. Thank you for watching, if you actually did make it this far. I hope this was at least semi-entertaining, or informative, or anything like that. Leave a like if you would want me to get shot by the FBI SWAT next. If you want me to be their next hostage killed, maybe Fuze can be brought in this time, something like that. Just go out with a bang, I guess. Subscribe if you would like to see that happen right now, I suppose. Actually, leave a dislike and an unsubscribe. Alright, I will see you in the next one.